My name's John Forrest. I'm President and General Manager of Northern Escape Heli Skiing. I've been guiding for getting pretty close to 40 years now. At Northern Escape for 20 years. I'm a ACMG certified ski guide, and I've been guiding pretty much my entire life. Well, when a guest first arrives at the Terrace Airport, we meet them there. Typically for the Yellow Cedar package, they'll arrive in the evening of their first day of their package. We pick them up. We've got this really sweet 24-passenger bus. It's four-wheel drive. They jump in the bus. It's about a 25-minute to 30-minute drive to Yellow Cedar Lodge. Good highways, good road, no problem at all. When a guest first arrives at Yellow Cedar, the guests go straight into our kind of meet and greet area. It's in a lounge. You're met there. The bartender's got a welcome drink of champagne there for you, a welcome toast to say welcome to Northern Escape. The ski shop guy is there, as well as a guide is there. And the guide will give you a quick briefing and a rundown of what the conditions have been for the week leading up to now, and what to expect for the week coming up. And then the ski shop guy usually takes over, and he starts getting your skis and your poles and your snowboards and whatever you need all ready to go. Once you finish that, there's snacks there. It's like we call it tapas, and so there's a bunch of tapas there as a hearty, evening meal that you can have before you get ready to go to bed and get ready for the next morning. So when the guests first arrive at the Terrace Airport and they're going to the Mountain Lodge, they're again met by one of our staff sitting there with a sign that says Northern Escape on it. And it's about a 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive to a staging area where they'll meet the helicopter for their flight into the lodge. Then once you're in the helicopter, it's probably a 5-minute flight across the river and through the mountains up to the Mountain Lodge. You'll land right in front of the lodge, and again you'll be met by some of our staff. They'll start unloading the luggage out of the helicopter while you're ushered into the lodge. And when you first arrive, there's the welcome champagne drink sitting there. You get an introduction to the other staff that's there. You get a tour around the lodge and show you around, and then we get ready to get into the skiing program. So after a great night's sleep, the next morning people will wake up. We've got a stretch class for everyone that starts at 7 o'clock. And so all the guests that want to are welcome to go to a stretch class. Our massage therapist puts it on, gets you all limbered up and ready for your day's skiing. The breakfast starts at 7:30, about the same time you're wrapping up breakfast. One of the guides will come in and give you a briefing on what to expect for the day, temperatures, snow conditions, new snow overnight, all that sort of stuff. And then you'll get ready for your first day's activities, which will include you'll be doing the waiver and getting all the paperwork done before you go. And then you'll do a beacon briefing, which goes over how to use the avalanche transceiver, how it works. You'll get to try a couple scenarios with it. You'll go through all the other equipment that you have, like the airbag backpacks, shovels and probes and all that stuff that everyone carries with them each day. Get a look at your rental gear, make sure that it all fits. Then you go out and do a helicopter safety briefing, and the guide will take you around the helicopter and tell you how to get in and out and emergency procedures and all that sort of stuff. And then the first groups usually leave around 8:45, 9 o'clock. When the guests first depart, especially if it's their first helicopter flight, it can be pretty exhilarating. Most of the guests, a lot of the guests, it is their first flight. And the flight to the top of the first run is going to be 6 to 8 minutes probably through some of the, just incredible terrain that you can imagine as you're skiing through the mountains. When they land at the top, and when the helicopter departs for the first time, it's one of my favorite moments to look over at the guests and just see their sense of just utter amazement and awe as they look around the mountains and just see nothing but, massive mountains and snow. You can't go heli skiing unless there's lots of snow. And lots of snow doesn't come from blue skies. And so when it's snowing, sometimes when it's snowing too hard, you just can't fly. At other lodges, you'll spend a day, eating and drinking and playing go fish in the lodge. Whereas with us, we've got snowcap backup. And so pretty much every day we'll get in the helicopter and we'll try to go heli skiing. And if the weather just doesn't allow us to do it, we land at a staging area where our snowcats are parked, and we get in a snowcat, and the snowcat drives us up, and we spend the day going cat skiing. Northern Escape's cat ski area that we use for backup skiing, it's about the size of one of the largest alpine ski resorts in the world. It's much bigger than Whistler Blackcomb put together, and rivals some of the really big resorts over in Europe. If at any time during the day the weather clears, instead of the snowcat picking you up, the helicopter picks you up and you continue heli skiing. The transition is quite seamless. We've actually had days where we started heli skiing, we got pushed into going cat skiing for a few runs, and then the weather cleared and we went back into the helicopters and finished the day in the helicopter. Our first track season begins in, basically as the season opens. It goes from early December through till mid to late January. That's when you can expect the snow to be the deepest. We get big storms, big snowfalls in December and January. We spend a great deal of time skiing in the trees, probably 65% of the time skiing in the trees and the other 35% up in the alpine when the days allow us to do that. But it's the deep season. That's when we get the deepest snowpack. That's when you've got the snow coming over your head. It's when it's the deepest. Peak season with us is actually named because everyone thinks that that's the peak season. It's from mid-January through till probably mid-March. That's when everyone wants to travel. My personal favorite is still, the early season because of the deep snow. But peak season has got a good mixture of weather and stable days. So we still get lots of snow. We get to probably spend about 50% of the time skiing in the trees and about 50% of the time skiing in the alpine in the sun. Just depends on what you like. So endless days is our term for skiing later in the season. It's mid-March through till mid to late April. That's when the days get really long. We tend to get more stable weather, and we spend a lot more time up high in the alpine. Some big glacier runs, big alpine runs, and we still ski in the trees when the light gets flat or when a storm comes in. But we'll probably spend about 35% of the time in the trees and about 65% of the time up in the high glaciers at that time. Once you're out in the mountains, we'll typically do 8 to 12 runs in a day is a typical day. We have lunch out in the mountains, usually try to pick a nice spot where everyone's got a view and can enjoy a little break from skiing, I guess. We ski the rest of the afternoon. The end of the day for us is when people start getting tired, or when it's approaching 5 o'clock is pretty much our downtime to get back to the lodge. Après ski at Northern Escape starts out when the helicopter first brings you back to the lodge. You'll go to the boot room. There's a dedicated room for you to dry all your clothes and store all your gear. You're met at the door with a hot face cloth. Get to wipe your face off and wipe the sunscreen and everything off and kind of clean up a little bit. The bar is open, so once you get your boots off, it's usually off to the bar. Bar's open with a variety of drinks and beers and whatever else you need there. There's a big spread of food put out for you, everything from sliders to nachos to chicken wings to pizza. There's a wide variety of stuff served, and so that's put out for you. You get back, the music's playing. There's videos on the TV of people skiing. Some people put their own videos up from the day on the TV, and it's a nice après ski party basically. So dinner at Northern Escapes is relaxed. People finish their après ski. They go back to the room. They get changed, but it's not a dress up type of situation at all. It's quite a relaxed atmosphere. Show up 7 o'clock is when dinner's served. Appetizers come out, a variety of really nice appetizers. Ahi tuna, salads, some soups once in a while. Great variety of appetizers. The main course comes out, and it's everything from tenderloin to rack of lamb. There's a great variety of meals served. The desserts are quite exquisite. The chefs go all out on the desserts. Of course, there's a great wine list and after meal coffees for anything you'd like that way. Over the years, I've spent time speaking with our guests and getting a good understanding of why they've chosen Northern Escape heli skiing, and the same themes come up all the time. One of the biggest ones is our snowcat backup, and it keeps you skiing in pretty much all weather, pretty much every day. One of the ones that surprised me was actually the ease of access and how important that was to our clients. And it seems to have gotten more important over time. But it saves you, comparatively to skiing in another area, typically saves you a day, sometimes 2 days on your total vacation because of our easy access. Our terrain is, spectacular. We've got some amazing tree skiing and huge alpine runs, and that seems to bring the guests back a lot as well.